Hello creators and followers, thanks very much for joining us for another video from the Nexus Dawn Studios. I have to apologise for the delay in getting out this video. It's about 2 weeks overdue now, primarily because I started a new project out of interest, which has snowballed, and the feedback for it has been absolutely overwhelming. But I'll cover that in another video, hopefully not so late down the track. So for this video, let me start off by saying, greetings programs! You heard me right, greetings programs is what I said, because, as my friends and family know, I'm a huge fan of Tron Legacy, the Disney film that came out back in 2010. As a matter of fact, some would even say that my passion for this film can be borderline obsessive. I don't think so. Granted, my kitchen has a Tron Legacy theme. Yeah, alright, and so my living room is probably inspired by the movie as well. When I say probably, well, I'm saying, yeah, it is. But I still don't think that's obsessive. I think maybe I'll call it obsessive when my collection eventually fills up a second cabinet. Speaking of collections, and that is why we're here, to talk about a part of my collection, the light cycles. These things are phenomenal in design. I think they look fantastic, and a lot of the fans would agree with me. They are an integral part of the Tron Legacy movie, as well as the Tron Uprising animated series, which is just my favourite animated series of all time. Anyway, moving on. While they are impressive in design, by themselves, they lack a little luster. So I thought I'd take it upon myself to design a stand for them. And seeing as how I've just acquired a really cool laser cutter, something went off inside my head. I just had to do something. So let's move to the lappy. The first thing I had to do was to figure out the radius of this rear wheel. Reason being, I had this vision of a ribbon of light coming out the back, the main light cycle resting on a black hexagon patterned base. Of course, you have to use the hexagon. Why? Because it is the chosen polygon of any science fiction film, and it is an integral part of every design aspect when it comes to the Tron universe. So, my choice of weapon to tackle this problem is Lightburn. Lightburn is an incredible program. It's an interface for laser cutters, but you can also design in it. It has design aspects very similar to Inkscape or even Adobe Illustrator. It has nodes, lines, and everything is adjustable within it. This is the design that I came up with using Lightburn. So this will be the ribbon coming out the back of the light cycle. I did manage to work out the radius. It was trial and error. You can see here I've also incorporated hexagons in the disbursement of the light ribbon that comes out the back. Down the base, you will see I've also added a long tab. This long tab will actually be inserted into the hexagon pattern base. Speaking of which, there we have the hexagon patterned base. This will be the slot in which the ribbon fits into. Up the front here, we will find that the light cycle will sit there comfortably. The red outline is the cut. So there will be a space between the outside and the pattern. The pattern itself will consist of many hexagons, and they shall be filled or etched. They will be laser etched. So the etching will be a matte finish, while the top of the hexagons will be a lovely black gloss. So our first prototype, well, I began with paper. Nice and simple. So we printed it out, and I printed it out to scale, of course, so that I could just double check the radius of the light ribbon. And well, what do you know? It worked. So the next step from that was naturally MDF. So I went to an MDF prototype. Now this ribbon is not the finished product, and of course it's a little too wobbly, so I will have to make changes to that. But there we have the hexagon pattern base. So the proof is in the pudding. It does work, and I do have a slot in there. So a little bit of adjustment. Then next, acrylic. While we wait for the laser cutter, don't forget to hit like and don't forget to hit subscribe. So after the MDF prototype was a success, I went back to Lightburn and made the adjustments. Now I also found that the Clue light cycle and the Sam Flynn light cycle, both the wheel and the chassis over the wheel are different. So I had to make two different shaped ribbons to fit both cycles. Well, this is the moment of truth. Rinzler, are you excited to see it? I'm excited to see it. He's obviously excited to see it. So here it is, my first laser cut project. Ta-da! I have to say, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. As you can see, it's a beautiful fit around the rear wheel. This one is obviously for Sam Flynn with a blue ribbon. You can see the hexagon pattern for the dissipation of the light ribbon. The base turned out really well. Beautiful black gloss acrylic, and the pattern came up awesome. It's etched, so there is like a little bit of an indentation where that cutting has occurred. Now I did say that I did have to do a different one for Clue. So I will pull out the light ribbon, which fits in there beautifully and firm. Bang! In it goes, and there we have Clue's light ribbon. And let's throw Clue on there. And I've got to say, another beautiful fit. I'm so pleased with this. I would eventually like to do a light in the base of the acrylic. So I have plans to add another couple of layers. There will be a layer of coloured acrylic to go underneath this, and then a black layer of acrylic to house an LED light. And of course the LED light will easily come up through the transparent acrylic, as well as the coloured transparent acrylic around the edge. A little bit more designing to do to get to that point, but so far I'm pretty happy. Thanks again for joining us. If you're interested in buying one of these stands, email me at the address below or contact me through my Facebook page. And remember, let's keep creating.